This is Gus Summers, and you're watching In-Show Celebrities. This is the time I take every Monday to talk about some of my favorite films and actors. This week, we have another grand actor of Hollywood. This fine talent already has a 30-plus year career and is still going strong. He's done independent films as well as huge blockbuster films, from comedies, dramas, sci-fi, action, you name it, he has done it. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Keanu Reeves. He traveled a lot because his mother was a costume designer. And when he finally made his way to Hollywood, he started to do, bit parts here and there. And from there, it just grew and grew, his career. And then you found him in all sorts of movies, bit parts, comedies, dramas, you name it. But specifically in the teen genre. And as he grew and matured, he was able to branch in to the adult aspect of movies. And he was able to show that he could lead a film and make it successful. Well, first up is one of his first endeavors as a lead adult actor. This film burst on the scene and just transformed him from that teen young actor into that mature, grown leading man. Of course, I'm talking about Point Break. His name is Johnny Utah. He is a FBI agent transferred over to the Los Angeles bank robbery department. And there he's teamed up with a 20-plus year veteran who is investigating a particular set of bank robberies. The actor. He in his own regard is a fine actor. He has done so much in his own career, you name it, from serious dramatic work to the craziness of just his own life and how he's able to command his role. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Gary Busey. He plays that FBI agent who's just dedicated to his work, but knows there's something different about these bank robberies. Well, these bank robbers, as he tells Keanu Reeves, only come around during the summertime. So his theory is that they are surfers and that they basically circumvent the globe following the waves, so they're only there during the summer. And so at first no one wants to hear his theory. Everyone has already been listening to Gary Busey for the past 3 years about it, because it's been going on for 3 years. And Keanu Reeves decides, you know what, that sounds like a good theory. Let's follow it. And so Keanu Reeves has to learn how to surf and go to the beach and get involved with the surf culture, have them accept him as one of their own. So he goes, tries to surf, almost drowns, and he's saved by a local, a young lady. She pulls him out of the water, tells him, go home, stay away from here. You don't even belong here. The young lady, Laura Petty. She's the local. She works and lives nearby, and Keanu Reeves decides she's my way into the community. So he goes and befriends her and convinces her to teach him how to surf. So after being reluctant to do so, she finally takes him in. He gives her a sob story and says, "Okay, I'll help you." And as she's teaching him to surf, another friend of hers comes. This guy is like a big kahuna. He's the ringleader of these particular surfers, and another grand actor taken from us too soon, Mr. Patrick Swayze. He plays Bodie. Like I said, the big kahuna. He's the veteran, the one who knows the waves and knows the surf culture, and Keanu Reeves knows, well, you know what? I gotta befriend him, because he's the big gun. If I get in good with him, I'm good with everybody. And so, you have a scene where they're playing because Keanu Reeves is a friend of Laura Petty. Patrick Swayze says, "Why don't you come and join us?" And they have a bonfire, a whole beach party at night. They're playing football, and Keanu Reeves tackles him, and a bunch of Patrick Swayze's friends say, "Hey, dude, what's wrong with you? You shouldn't attack him like that." Patrick Swayze saying, "Easy. You don't know who this is? This is Johnny Utah. He was a quarterback in college. Oh, he knew all about him." He goes, "You know me?" He goes, "Yeah." And so what had happened was Keanu Reeves was a quarterback, blew out his knee, and so his college career, professional career went out. But Patrick Swayze, accepted him. He knew about sports, and so let him into the group. And so the story is, he's getting more familiar with the culture, getting more familiar with the guys. Keanu Reeves thinks it's this other group of guys, other group of surfers who may be the bank robbers. Well, during this whole time, the bank robbers, they're known as the ex-presidents because they wear masks of former presidents like Nixon, Reagan, I think LBJ, Gerald Ford. I'm trying to remember all of them. But they go in there, they just go in quick. They're out in less than 2 minutes, and they're fire shot and leave. So there's been a couple bank robberies, and they're getting chewed out. Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey, and they're trying to get more involved to trying to figure out who it is, if it's really this other group. But there's things that are happening that's having Keanu Reeves suspect that it's really Patrick Swayze and his group. Well, without giving too much away for those of you who haven't seen it, the movie is really a good insight into the surf culture, because it is, for those of you who aren't from, places where they surf, Southern California, Hawaii, it is a tight-knit group, and they have their own philosophy. And I think Patrick Swayze captures it. His hair is, like a bleach blonde, like being out in the sun a lot. His manner and what he says, it's very kahuna, very, surfer mentality. But you see him begin to, they start creating a bond with each other. He starts to fall in love with Laura Petty, and she him. And Gary Busey at one point tells him, "You know what, you're getting too involved, with your buddy there. You get your head straight." So anyways, the movie progresses, and they at one point predict where the next bank robbery is going to go. So Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves are waiting. Sure enough, here they come, and then they have a big, shootout and a big car chase. Great, great scene. But the whole movie, moves steadily along, moves, perfect. The acting's great, everything. And again, it's sad to see Patrick Swayze, because we know he's gone now. But I think it fit him perfectly. Great role for all of them. From Gary Busey, Patrick Swayze, Laura Petty, and Keanu Reeves. Great film. Great film, perfect for all of them. Next movie, another grand movie. This deals with the supernatural. It has demons, demon fighters, half-breeds, celestial beings, humanity versus, angels, and reality versus the intangible. Of course, I'm talking about Constantine. Keanu Reeves plays John Constantine. He's an exorcist, so he shifts demonic beings back, takes them out of the person and sends them to hell. Well, in the beginning, you see him exorcising this demon out of this young gal, and he realizes that that it is a full-fledged being from the other side. You have half-breeds that are able to go in and out here, but full entities from the other side can't cross over. But he realized, wait a minute, this is a full entity trying to make its way through, practically almost did. And so he sends some of his friends to investigate. So they go and investigate through books and other ways, trying to put the pieces together of what is happening at this moment. In a side story, you see this guy who had found this, who got possessed and found this spear, which turns out to be what's called the spear of destiny. It's a spear that pierced Christ's side, and that is what the man possesses. And you see him trekking his way through the desert, through the city, heading towards, later we know, where to where Keanu Reeves is at, John Constantine. So while all that's going on, his friends are searching, books and references to see what all this means. He meets this young lady, Rachel Weisz. She plays Angela, a detective, police detective, who happens to see John Constantine at different times. But she ends up searching him out because she had a sister who ended up, who she felt was murdered and didn't commit suicide. And as she was reviewing the tape, and someone said, look at the tape, you see her jump off the building. She wasn't pushed. There's a scene where she suddenly turns and says, Constantine. And Rachel Weisz, Angela, stops and rewinds, but she didn't see it, but she heard it, so she wrote the name down. And she kind of put two and two together about Keanu Reeves, John Constantine, and what her sister said. So she goes to she goes to ask him questions because she knows of a John Constantine who does all this, who's involved in the supernatural. So she's asking him questions about her sister, what he thinks. He says, I don't want to get involved, and he basically throws her out. She leaves, but he sees shadows and he hears wings. So he sees them fly by his window, and he runs downstairs to Rachel Weisz and is kind of talking to her, alluding to the other side, and she's basically, you're crazy. And all of a sudden the lights turn off, and he says, you better come over here. And she goes, why? He goes, come over here. And he had this towel wrapped around his hand, and it lights on fire, and it's a weapon that he carries, one of the weapons he carries. And when it lights, it illuminates the entire area. And when it does, you see hordes of, I guess, demons or what have you. And because of the light, they all are destroyed. But she sees them, and she's all, what is going on? What's happening? She goes, and he says, well, this is what you're up against. And so as they're trying to figure out, what happened to his sister, you see this man with the spear coming through, the desert, and his friends are calling him, saying, hey, this symbol or this thing that you asked me about means this. And another guy saying, well, it means this. They make reference to the spear that's coming. They make reference to, he goes, a symbol. A friend of his ends up dying, and he contacts another friend. What's this symbol mean? He goes, well, it's an ancient symbol meaning that the son of the devil is trying to emerge into our reality. Manon, they call him, and it's his symbol, and he's trying to emerge out of there. And so what you realize is that all this is converging together. They're all signposts of something happening. So he's being drawn in by the murder of Rachel Weisz's sister, and Manon, or this man with the spear is coming, and all these other entities are starting to show up, and come together at this moment to create an opening so the son of the devil can come out. So he deals with like I said, all sorts of friends and demons. He has a friend, well, not a friend, someone else he confides in, Gabriel. Gabriel's really it's not a full-fledged angel. They call him a half-breed because only half-breeds can be here and the celestial. So I don't know if they're half angel, half human, or half human, half something else, or whatever they are. They're half-breeds. But Gabriel, it's portrayed by Tilda Swinton. I think she captures the essence of what they were trying to portray in Gabriel, because they gave her this angelic look. Her skin is like almost porcelain. She's Her face is all white and her hair is, at different times it's different colors. She wears different things, but there are times where she has these wings. Great, I think a great look for Gabriel. So anyway, he's trying to piece all this together. Meanwhile, just to boot, he's dying. He's dying of lung cancer. So everyone knows demons, hell. Everyone knows he's dying, and they're all waiting for him because he pretty much put all these all kinds of demons in hell. So they're just waiting for him to come down, and they're going to torture him forever. So throughout the whole thing, he's hacking and coughing. So yeah, a great film. Again, horror sci-fi gives you a great look into what a lot of people talk about in regards to demonology and such. But great movie. Last film, of course, have to talk about it because it turned everyone's perspective on its ear. Of course, I'm talking about The Matrix. He plays Mr. Anderson, Neo. He's by day he's just a computer software engineer at a company, but at night he's the hacker Neo, and he works all around the net. But he's looking for specifically someone named Morpheus, who he feels has the answers to life and reality and what have you. And so he's actually at one point contacted by Morpheus, and he goes, I'm right. I got to find more about him. But Morpheus doesn't really answer any questions. And then he is arrested, per se, detained by these agents of, you think of the government, who are asking him questions. We know that you're in contact with Morpheus. So just help us and everything can get expunged. Don't worry about your arrest. Don't worry about anything. And so he says no. And they implant him with something in his stomach. He wakes up and he thinks he's dreaming. He gets a call from Morpheus. And he says, if you want to know what everything's about, leave now, go outside. So he goes outside and there's a car waiting for him. He gets in, 3 different people in there, and they actually extract it actually looks like a bug, and it's a bug to trace him. And he's like, this is real. He goes, I can't believe it. And one of the ladies who's with him she plays Trinity, Carrie-Anne Moss. She's the one that is the gentle voice at first. This is real. It's going to blow your mind, but you'll understand soon. They take him to Morpheus. Morpheus, of course, it's the great Lawrence Fishburne. And he's trying to tell him, what? This is, he's real calm. This is the reality of it. Everything you see is not real, blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, for you to really understand, you have to decide now. You have to take the blue pill or the red pill. The blue pill lets you go on living the lie, and the red pill wakes you up. So he goes, which one do you want? So he takes the red pill. And, for those who haven't seen it, he takes the red pill, and suddenly he awakens in this sarcophagus that's full of gel. He realizes that he's been in a cocoon, being intravenously fed, and caused to think that he's normal, but he has actually been being used as an energy source. And when the machine realized that he woke up, that he literally came to this reality where there's layers of billions of people in these cocoons, they basically flush him down the toilet. And when they flush him, that's when a ship comes, takes him, and it's Morpheus and Trinity and the whole group, and they are actually rebels, refugees fighting against the machine. And so they have to, explain all this to him, tell him that everything you see is fake, and this is the reality. There came a point where the machines took over, and in humanity's last attempt to kill the machines because they were driven by the sun, we tried to black out the sun, but they realized that humans could be used as an energy source. So that's why they're in those cocoons, being fed, kept alive, but used as energy. But their mind is stuck in the matrix, this computer animated or computer generated reality where, you know, they believe that they're human, living life day to day. And so, you know, they have to convince Neo that Keanu Reeves that he's actually the one who's meant to free them. And so, you know, I know a lot of you have seen it already, but, you know, great film, because one of the things that the film did was enable one to think, wow, am I really not necessarily part of a, you know, a fabricated system of, you know, a fake reality, but am I involved in a system where I have to fulfill my spot, be in my place? And this is where I think a lot of people begin to wake up. Wait a minute, there's a system in place that I can't break out of, that I have to maintain this order and follow these rules. And if I do, then life will be okay. But even if I don't like it, there's nothing I can do about it anyways. I think that's what really blew people's minds away, that we were really have been asleep and following a system that has lulled us to sleep. So anyways, so, you know, he goes, you know, he goes in and they convince him enough, and he goes in, he's able to tap back into the matrix, and he ends up encountering the Mr. Smith agents, and realizes that they are computer programs there to weed out people like him and destroy them, so that the rest of humanity isn't awakened out of you know, this reality. But again, you know, for a lot of you, you know, I'm repeating what we already know. You know, a great film. Again, you know, it enabled people to wake up. You know, again, you know, what I liked about each of these films is that it gave a look into a culture or something that we really don't know about. Point Break, into the surf culture, or the culture of, because Patrick Swayze actually says that. He goes, you know what we are? We're here. We're the ones fighting against the system, telling everyone to wake up. You know, you know, great aspect. Again, you know, wake up. Don't fall for the system that they've created and forced you to be a part of. Wake up. Again, Constantine. You know, the thing is, you know, they deal with demons and God and what have you. But of course, if you look at it in a scientific fashion, you know, we don't know what's in outer space. You know, just recently, a spaceship just finally reached, you know, one of the last planets and is going further. You know, we don't know, you know, how big this galaxy is, and there's things that we don't know at the, you know, at the quantum level. You know, there's our perception is only so much. Again, you know, that's what Constantine did. And the Matrix, again, there are things that you believe to be correct and right, but they are completely not even just different, they're just wrong. So again, you know, a glimpse into a different reality for each of those films. Again, all well acted, all, you know, all great films, action, drama, suspense, what have you. But again, great films. Well, that's what I got for you today. You know, we got Point Break, Constantine, and The Matrix. Great films. I know you would like them. I love them, actually. Well, this has been Gus Summers, and you've been watching In-Show Celebrities. This is the time I take every Monday to talk about some of my favorite films and actors. Of course, remember, don't forget to visit us every Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. at theinshow.com, where I host The In-Show. And that's when I bring on, you know, celebrities, all sorts of guests, just talk about their projects or whatever it is that they want to talk about. Of course, don't forget to visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Flickr, Instagram, all those great social media sites. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, Gus has left the building.